No, I forgot about my VTuber model. Wait, let me prep for a second. I might even bring listen to. Oh, and there's like I'm out right now. Right now I'm outside. Wait. Okay, right now I'm outside, and can you hear the rain? Can you hear the rain? Like, oh fuck, there's no gate. Wait, let me get rid of the gate out there. No, you can barely hear it. You can barely hear it. That is crazy. You can barely even hear it. Okay, I'm gonna like yeah. I'm gonna talk quite quietly tonight. No yelling at the freaking microphone. Why are you yelling at the mic? No, I'm not gonna be yelling at the microphone, but let's put that thing there. Alright. Oh fuck. Get rid of the reverb. This is a nice gate. That seems nice. And let's put in our notes. Our notes. Well, like things I like, things I didn't like. Let's just have like things to talk about when it comes to these freaking things, right? Like when it comes to She-Hulk, there's like a lot to talk about when, especially when it comes to the involvement of Hulk in the freaking entire universe in it. Are we gonna be able to like see Scar here in the Hulk, like in the brand new day? There's no way we're gonna see Scar in brand new day, right? There's just no way. That is impossible. We don't even know if like Bruce Banner is gonna be able to do a lot of freaking things when it comes to his child support, when it comes to his car. Um, but yes, Thor: Love and Thunder. I know. I skipped. I skip a little bit when it comes to Groot because there's not a lot to talk about I Am Groot, but I watched I Am Groot season 1 and it's kind of nice. It's very cute. It's like it feels like a animation movie for the Marvel's MCU, but they're really taking on like their branch. They were really casted a net so freaking wide and trying no you try to cast a net as wide as they can to be able to like attract as many audiences from different freaking kinds of things and to give us like different kind of freaking flavors, and one of those things is I Am Groot, and that thing has been nice. She-Hulk though, and She-Hulk yeah, let me just there uh I need to wait, what the, wait. Okay. Uh, things to talk about when it comes to She-Hulk. Let's just go here and oh, it's already there. Okay, it's already open. It's already there. And should we? Do we need a little bit of freaking music to spicing things up? No, let's add some freaking music to it. What kind of like music should we get? Yeah, Travis Barker and an offline TV. How about this? Oh, oh, oh. Entire entire froze. Oh no. It froze. Oh. Oh, it froze. And it wants to do. Well, let's just have some lo-fi freaking stuff, okay? Pokemon lo-fi. Pokemon lo-fi. Lo-fi girl. 90 CD. Cloud Rain. Lo-fi. Do I really like lo-fi? Not. It's like nice, but it's just. If we're talking about She-Hulk, let's see what kind of like nice. Tokyo Amber Noir. Okay, what the fuck does that mean? Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's definitely the vibe. That that is definitely that is definitely the vibe we're going for. Yes. Let's put some ducking in there just to really gun it in to be able to like when I speak. It's not in the VOD anyways. Yeah, it's not it's not in the VOD, but live freaking people will be like able to understand and be able to like feel the entire music that I would like talk about it. Alright, so it's raining outside. I am outside. I need to be able to like talk a little bit much more chill when I come to talk about it. But yeah, let's talk about things to talk about. Okay, let's completely enter the agenda. So we're gonna be able to talk about here in freaking She-Hulk is Fort Wall. Okay, I have to like hold the microphone so you'll be able to like hear a lot of a lot of sound effects there. Fourth walls. The fourth walls is not that much, but it's there. The entire cameo. No, the entire the show. How the show is run. That is freaking fun to be able to talk about. Anything else when it comes to politics? It's very political. It has a lot of freaking messaging. But what type of messaging does it want to say? Well, let's talk about Immortal Man. Immortal Man. No, the man in her view. And then let's talk about power scaling. Power. Well, power stats or like power tracking. Powers. Okay, powers. That's good. How to show this one? The man in the show, the man in the show is really good. What else do we need to be able to watch here? How to show this one? The man in the show, the fourth walls. The man in the show. Do we have enough freaking topics to be able to like talk about the entire freaking thing? We need kind of two more, or like let's put it down to five freaking things, right? Uh, Hulk universe, Hulk family, yes, Hulk family. The Hulk family freaking thing is not a lot much to be able to talk about that, but suits. I don't know. Action. Suits. No, not suits. It's just how the pop culture reference or the current zeitgeist, the current zeitgeist references or modern references, right? References to the real, references to the real world. References to the real world, how it freaking acts, how they were able to do it. That seems nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is six Hulk family, not much, but probably gonna be able to talk about that for like a 5 minutes or like 2 minutes there. But like, okay, we're gonna change the freaking music to do something different, something upbeat. Mm, 1980s lo-fi, something like feeling for like freaking She-Hulk. Pop radio. Pop radio, it feels very pop, right? Pop mix. Nasa Pop FM. Okay, this one? 5 years ago? This is good for the. Yes. No. 2020s pop songs. 2020 pop songs. Top songs 2020s. Right. 2020s. ABCDFU. Pop song. Pop music 2025. Billboard Hot 100. Well, is this? It's gonna be the 100 songs of 2020s. Let's go with here. Let's see here. It seems like when it comes to Shell, it's very pop music, right? Because it's just what's popular during the freaking time. Well, that's what I freaking. That's the freaking vibe that I got when it comes to the use of freaking music and soundtrack that they were able to use it. Okay, instead of like whole family soundtrack, soundtrack. Yes, that's the soundtrack is nice. Okay, so when it comes to freaking She-Hulk, they start with the freaking soundtrack. The use of modern freaking hip hop and a lot of freaking pop hip hop like style of freaking songs in the freaking thing in the freaking show seems like a good freaking vibe. It's like definitely my freaking vibe because those are like the songs that I freaking listen to. So having that kind of references and a much more newer that kind of songs towards this freaking show is kind of like it's really really targeting, and I feel like very targeted. I feel targeted with whatever it is that the show is like running in. Yeah, it seems like very pop songs of the 2020s. And it's very nice to be able to like see that in Marvel to be able to use license a lot of those freaking songs. And not a lot of freaking pop songs that were popular during the freaking time, but it was they made freaking songs fitting for it, right? I like that the use in that. I like how they use those kinds of freaking songs, especially starting with Moon Knight, right? In Moon Knight, we get to be able to have that kind of freaking kinds of like hip hop freaking things, and definitely in Miss Marvel, and then now we got to like we can finally have like She Hulk, and like my experience with She Hulk is pretty much like very freaking fine, especially when it comes to the soundtrack, and yeah, the soundtrack really for me feel makes it uh makes draws the line, bends the line as to the reality and fantasy freaking thing as to Marvel Cinematic Universe being a fantastical freaking place, and it draws in the line there, makes it much more I don't know immersive. Makes the thing more immersive, even though there's a lot of freaking things that I would say happen in there. There were like a lot of freaking things that they able to like experience, or like a lot of topics that were like brought up that would probably take the immersion away from a male freaking viewer, or like stray away from all freaking men. But that's I don't think that is the freaking messaging in this freaking show. So let's just start with the second freaking thing to be able to talk about. After the freaking soundtrack, let's go to how the show is freaking run, right? The man let's just so with its freaking messaging, and one of its messaging is the way a female lead is able the way the female lead, or the way they were able to like see the perspective on freaking men in this freaking show, and they were able to like portray freaking men in this freaking show. It doesn't mean the portrayal of women in one freaking show means already the portrayal of all men in general. It doesn't mean that I don't think that's where they're going for when they try to like say these kinds of freaking things towards this freaking show as to empower whatever it is that they're trying to do. I think as somebody who's like watching this, I don't think I'll be able to like become an apologist for a man apologist for being a freaking man, right? I don't think that's the freaking goal here as to whatever it is that they're trying to do. I think that whatever it is that they're trying, well, at least to be able to apologize if you were one of those freaking guys that were like nitpicked, right? well, not exactly nitpick or called out by this freaking the messaging in this freaking show, because their messaging is very right there in your freaking face as to what kind of men are, or what kind of men they don't like, or the things that brought up the freaking movement in itself, right? The things that they hate from a day to day freaking basis in the experience and the lens of a freaking woman. Yeah, and that's like the female freaking gaze in itself, right? As if only a freaking female would be able to like tell. It's just as when it comes to freaking a male freaking gaze, it's just there are like things that we as dudes can be able to freaking tell, and there are like if it feels freaking offensive to us, it means that they are hitting a freaking nerve, and it means that they're calling us out for freaking reality as to what it is, right? Things that we have done wrong, done wrong probably are the things that they find freaking disgusting that it's hard for them to be able to like talk about in real life, or that they brought up when it comes to like ways that are things that are like that. But it's what am I saying here? Okay, it's very difficult for me to be able to like have a stance on it to completely say that they're not wrong. Okay, they're not wrong. What I'm saying is, it takes if people are like saying freaking things, it's okay to be able to like go there and be able to like let them to hear them out first before making any freaking judgment as to what they're freaking saying. So this is me hearing them out and not being able to like completely judge them for what it is that they're trying to do. And by hearing them out and trying to understand as to what it is that they're trying to freaking tell in this kinds of freaking messaging of the man, the portrayal of men in their freaking show. Because I am a freaking dude, and this is completely a female-led freaking production and something for the girls supposedly, right? Doesn't completely say that all men are like this, because we have like men like Puck and well, it's heavily dominated by problematic freaking men, right? And that these actions or behaviors are what grosses freaking women out, and it kind of like says that they don't like this kinds of freaking shit, right? And even me, when I was watching it, sometimes I find it freaking cringe and all that freaking shit, like whatever it is these guys are freaking doing. But I guess that's what they see, right? Those are the things that stand out, and that's what they see that they want to call out. It probably happened once or twice for these writers or whatever it is that they happen to be able to like reference and be able to like show in this freaking show. Probably happened, and the crazy thing about it too is just that it probably happened, or it's just a freaking fantasy in the freaking show. And fantastical freaking aspect to portray freaking menace like this is different, right? But I don't, but I don't think they'll be able to like completely the entire freaking point or entire direction that they wanted to be able to like show is just to completely demean men as to in comparison to what women do, right? Yeah. And that's when I say when it comes to the men in the show, sometimes it's they calling things out, that things that freaking happen, and sometimes it is to the freaking extremes as to what men are, right? So a lot of us freaking men will be able to say that this is not fucking realistic, or it doesn't adhere to what the men that I've seen when it comes to real life. Well, probably it is, but sometimes it is not for us to be able to like say it's not because it is not me doesn't mean it's not happening to them, right? It's not that's not because that I am not doing this, it's not happening to them. And it's like it's this these are the realities that are somehow happening to these kinds to them, that is just being shown to us. We're just kind of like uncomfortable to be able to like see, to be able to be able to see, right? It's uncomfortable to be able to see and be able to like notice. And sometimes when it's like there in your freaking face, it's kind of like, ah, I guess that's what we are to them. I guess you might be able to feel that that's what we are to them, but that's probably not what they wanted you to be able to feel, or not what they wanted you to be able to think afterwards seeing it. It's probably that, oh, that's what they don't like from us, right? and that doesn't mean it's a complete judgment of what you are. You can still freaking change and all those freaking things. Probably not those kinds of behavior now from now on, right? So, yeah, that's a freaking part of it. And I've finally seen a man finally sexualized by get used as a uh be seen only as a sexual freaking object. That's probably Daredevil, as they freaking show it to us. The reverse Uno card me, and I guess that's what it is. That's what Daredevil is to the freaking show as to what it is and what it does. But sometimes when it comes to female freaking attraction, it's not just their physicality, but somehow how they are being treated. And I'm kind of like stupid for not getting that freaking idea. Well, I kind of like have that freaking kind of idea then, but it's just being shown here too. It's just, it's just somehow the freaking men that treat them like as a human being are the ones that are just seem to be attractive. Yeah, I guess that's what it is when it comes to the men in the freaking show. And as a dude looking for male role models or things, this is not a good show for you to be able to like look at. Well, I guess it's a bunch of cautionary tales for a lot of freaking men, but you know, as they do say, you gotta give some for everybody these days. There has to be something for everybody, and because of that, there's something for just the girls and for them to be able to tell these freaking kinds of freaking stories. And it's very progressive. I guess progressive as they call it because it's seeing towards the progress of diversity and being able to like have stories that tell these kinds of freaking things. And yeah, that's my experience towards the men in the freaking show. Emil Blonsky is freaking crazy, but he has like Emil Blonsky is crazy. Whatever the freaking show is being written, how the show is freaking run is kind of nice and be able to like understand. But the finale was like crazy ass freaking thing because what I understand where the people who are into comics and what people say that are the people who are into comics, what they're saying when it comes to freaking Shield is she is a fourth wall breaking lawyer, yeah, legal freaking drama kind of freaking girl. So that's what this thing is all about. So finally going true to what she is or what her essence is all about in the freaking finale, really breaking the fourth wall and just like, you know, uh, showing it up to Kevin and that freaking thing, right? And yeah, how the freaking show is run. I like the freaking beginning of their origins, and then we'll be able to like get a little bit more understanding of what she is, and being able to like confront her freaking the entire freaking plotline, her freaking identity as freaking She-Hulk, her embracing what it is to become a superhero even though she doesn't want to become a superhero, and like she was given this freaking kinds of she was given freaking powers not because of she wanted it but because it was just she was just close to a freaking relative at the freaking time, and it's just completely unearned, but she gets to freaking earn it and become a superhero in itself, right? But like we don't get to see any more aspects as to the consequences of her actions. But it was said, like when it comes to, it's being taught to her that her actions have freaking consequences. Now that she is a superhero, she cannot act the same way as a freaking human being. That is a freaking good messaging in the freaking show. Now let's go to the how the show is run. Right, that is how the show is freaking run, and that is a great way that is a great story for us to be able to tell, even though there are like differences when it comes to us. There are like things that I cannot relate to, and good to be able to know. It's still be able to like show that there are things that I can still understand because it is still freaking human. It is still freaking it is still freaking relatable to be able to understand these kinds of freaking stories. It is still a story about a struggling of what a person wants to become because she is that freaking person, right? A struggling of knowing what you are in this freaking world, and now that you are being brought into this freaking world, being understanding what you are in it, and be able to fight back or be able to stand out and show who you are in it and be able to live in it, right? Because that's what she is. She was able to like struggling how to live in it. Now that she is a freaking Hulk, and that's a great freaking story to be able to understand. And sometimes when it comes to like those freaking things, they struggle when it comes to freaking love and all those freaking things, and how to be able to be perceived. What it is like, are they being attractive as a freaking superhero or as a human being? Are they- are do they struggle when it comes to alter freaking egos, or are they just one, right? When it comes to her, her experience to it is just freaking one. But when it comes to other people's perspective of her, she is two freaking different people when she turns into a She-Hulk, and she is Jen Walters. Just Jen. And that is like crazy as freaking things when it comes to uh Hulk's freaking struggle when it comes to say you don't have to battle with an alter ego for this freaking long. But it's just like it's the same. It's the same freaking story when it comes to her. It's a freaking alter ego things, but it's just other people. It's a story that it is in herself, that is hers, but it's still be able to relate to when it comes to freaking Banner. And that's just like really good freaking way to be able to like say those freaking things, right? It's a great freaking story to be able to understand. It's a good one. It's just that how it ended and how it's ended and how it is shown. Let's just say the fourth wall freaking break at the freaking end. Well, it's kind of nice actually how they were able to like write it off and then be able to like understand what it is needed when it comes to this confrontation with freaking Kevin as to a character confronting their creator or their freaking showrunner, right? A character creating like somebody who is just part of a freaking play and understands that they are part of a fucking play, be able to confront the freaking people who is making the show, who's running the freaking show, right? Be able to confront those who are running the freaking show and be able to say what kind of story am I telling here, and this is the kind of story that I want to be able to like say or like tell, and be able to like really, yeah. Yeah, and it's a good one. It's a good freaking finale. It was for her to be coming into her own and understanding her freaking powers. Did she? Yes, and now we'll be able to like it's a good freaking way to be able to like know that and understand that. Um and how the show is run is very nice, especially when it feels like a cameo per freaking show. I like those freaking shows, man. I like I didn't know that I like the freaking cameo shows until I watched these kinds of things, and then I watched the Lil Dicky one. Yeah, I like the Lil Dicky show. What else? What else did I freaking like that are cameo freaking shows? I don't know. This one feels like a freaking sitcom and adventure, a different adventure per freaking episode, and not just one contained freaking conflict and struggle. It's just like very small freaking stories that are just like building up into, you know. It's nice. It was fun because the music is freaking fun. I go back to the freaking soundtrack because the soundtrack is making me have fucking fun while watching it, and it's just like, yeah, it's freaking fun, and I like the freaking comedy in it. I like the humor. I know the humor is freaking divisive because somehow understanding what it is offensive when not it's not offensive and those freaking kinds of things, right? But a lot of men are freaking offended. um. What else? Uh. Um. Yeah, how the show is run is kind of nice. I like that this freaking yeah, I like that every freaking episode is all about that, and it's grounded. And it's not just like She-Hulk only problem or Jen only problem. Like the way the show is run is because it's a struggle between her accepting her as her own as freaking She-Hulk, right? And like there are like freaking crazy ass freaking places in it that is just like the problems or the problems that needs to be able to face is pretty much like Gen freaking problems, right? It's like very much Gen freaking problems, but it can be solved by Gen freaking problems. She-Hulk freaking problems that can be solved by by Gen, and sometimes when push comes to shove, it is like She-Hulk that pops out. But it's like most of the freaking conflict in there, it's just like She-Hulk problems that can be solved by Jen, by Jen being her freaking lawyer, freaking stuff, and it's like nice. I like that it's like that, and then I like that he's not dragged into the superhero life. That his superhero life is just there just in case, but most of the freaking time, the main freaking thing is just her being Jen, and we get to be able to like watch Jen become like try to be Jen and actually now and find self actualization. Yeah. The retreat freaking one feels discounted because of blondes. The time problem, one of the problems here is freaking Emil freaking Blonsky. uh, the way that he needs to be freaking accounted. If she can rewrite the entire freaking thing, she could just rewrite it even before the conflict or the reveal of the entire freaking place being a retreat for these extremists, right? The manosphere people. Uh, yeah, this male extremist that is just like there to be able to like King Hulk, right? Yeah, she cannot just rewind it very much further because the conflict is really forced, like forced freaking conflict in the very end of episode freaking the previous episode before the final episode, so episode 8. At the very end of it, she seems very fun and like have finally like have things running on for life, but there are like things that needs to be able to tie up because people are like looking for her freaking blood, and her blood was freaking taken by this freaking guy that she able to date earlier, which is like Gen freaking problems. There are like Gen freaking problems that needs to be solved by freaking She-Hulk, right? She-Hulk freaking problems that needs to be solved by Gen, and those are like freaking things. But those are like She-Hulk problems that are just like really, really important freaking problems of it. The understanding the superhero freaking life, right? What it takes, especially when it comes to being a Hulk and all that. Yeah. So there's like that freaking plot line. That freaking plot line seems very solid, but it seems like it's very difficult to be able to know, especially when you force the freaking conflict as an attack on her at the final freaking show, right? At the place where she's getting a freaking award at the gala. That would be nice. That would have been very nice. Yeah, that's what the thing it is. The finale is kind of like there are like flaws to it, but you need freaking conflict for it to finally push into the finality of it, and you need a freaking place for them to be able to know. And yeah, Emil Blonsky still not completely rehabilitated is okay, but it does like feel like it feels kind of sucks. The feeling kind of sucks, especially when the retreat freaking worked on her, right? The retreat she had, the way she was like working with these kinds of freaking people, like the retreat that Blonsky was doing, feels like a rehabilitating freaking thing, especially when it comes to her. That it's not just because that she has freaking anger, freaking issues, right? Because she kind of might probably have one. She has like freaking things she was working on that freaking time in the retreat. Yeah, the retreat feels like discounted now. Now that finale has freaking now that you watch the freaking finale, it kind of sucks to watch the retreat again and be able to like say, "Fuck, this could have been nice." It's just Blonsky has been like been betrayed. The Chris character has been betrayed in its entirety. I don't mind uh like Daredevil being just a sex item and somebody to able to drive the plot is kind of okay. because it goes for both sexes, I guess. I guess it happens like that too, right? If we dudes were able to like do that before, they can do that to us also, I guess. But like Blonsky though, Blonsky's character is kind of like, that kind of sucks. It would be nice if it was like written that, oh, he didn't know they were like a bunch of freaking manosphere freaking people, right? Uh, it's like he didn't know it was like what they were doing is like actually this, or they were like disguised. The people who were like running the freaking show or the the small freaking the gathering that was run was like done by Liz under the cover of something else. It was done under the cover of something else, and Blonsky didn't know about it until it was there, and he was like showing up and be able to like show this and be able to like, yeah, that would have been nice. But yeah, there are flaws in it. So let's go to the powers. Let's go to the fort. The fort walls is been discussed already when it comes to freaking finale. The fort walls is kind of nice. That's the way she's like talking directly to the freaking camera. That seems much more in your face rather than freaking Deadpool, which Deadpool should freaking probably do. But all Deadpool does is like a bunch of references to pop freaking culture these days, but not like very crazy as fort walls. Like unlike the craziest fort walls that Jen was able to do. So yeah, powers probably better fourth wall breaker than Deadpool. Okay. Powers in this situation, the first power scaling as to how powerful she is compared to the freaking Hulk. I guess in the first freaking episode, we get to be able to like see a little bit of like much more power coming from Hulk, but she is much more faster and learning a lot of freaking things, right? She has a lot faster and be able to learn a lot of freaking stuff when it comes to the fighting and combat and being able to be okay with her being her Hulk freaking self, which is kind of crazy. And probably she could be a better freaking Hulk, but she doesn't want to because that's not who she is, right? She could be a better freaking Hulk, but she probably could be like what they're trying to show us in this freaking situation is that she could be a better freaking Hulk, but she doesn't want to. At least better than Smart Hulk, not Hulk, right? She could be better than Smart Hulk. But like when Hulk's out, probably that's where all of us guys would probably say, yeah, there's just no way, right? Uh, yeah, Hulk in there, that's nice. When it comes to other freaking powers in this situation, Immortal fan. Oh, the man in the freaking show, right? The freaking Immortal man, a guy who cannot like handle freaking conflict. We have somebody guy all up in his freaking head, so deluded that he was dating Megan Thee Stallion. Uh, so many. Uh, like freaking powers. Okay, powers. Who has the freaking powers in here? Um. The powers. Powers. Let's talk about their freaking powers. We don't get to see a lot, but the fourth wall break that she does, that's a crazy ass freaking power, right? Understanding that she is like a part of a freaking show, and that's all her freaking thing. Yeah, that's actually one of those reality freaking bending freaking stuff. And she can also be able to convince Kevin to be able to like change her freaking story and to be able to like do what she wants in the story that she is freaking writing on the story that she is going through. That is crazy. That is nice. That is something to be able to like that is something powerful that is not completely just on the might. That's nice to be able to like see when it comes to her. Anything else? Okay. Fourth walls. Um, fourth wall. The fourth ones were like kind of yeah, you're still here. Yes, the thing that understands that she understands that there needs to be a freaking story when we are around her. There needs to be something else to be able to like be seen in this entire freaking stuff because she understands she is in the show. She understands that there needs to be conflict and there needs to be freaking drama and tension for people to be able to keep watching. But sometimes we want to watch those kinds of freaking things, right? Especially when we understand and we know the struggles of the person being, we know that the freaking character is aware that they are a character. Like, there are like things about it too when it comes to freaking part walls, right? Like, understanding, when to be able to like empathize with a character that understands they are a character, we need to understand that it is a struggle with the higher freaking power, like understanding struggles with a freaking higher power, understanding that we need a fucking break and we sometimes need some things to go our freaking way. And that's why we need freaking fourth walls because shit has been fucking awful sometimes, right? There are like good ways to be able to write that, and that is one way to be able to like show that freaking fourth walls, how like fourth walls are freaking needed, but how are fourth walls being freaking done, right? But when it comes to here, fourth walls are being done as a freaking gag that be able to like understand like the gag and all those freaking things. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to like see that, to see this freaking kind, like I would like to be able to like have fun reading a freaking story that they not understand they're a freaking character and be able to like know that every time that we are there, every time that they are aware that we are there, there is freaking, we know that they are gonna freaking suffer and there's a freaking struggle coming. There's always a fucking struggle and conflict and drama and tension and freaking shitty freaking things that is gonna happen because of us being there watching them, and we love it, and we somehow freaking love it watching them being able to go to these freaking things, and it's fucking needed somehow, right? And then it's needed freaking somehow because that's just what it was going through, right? It's like a smidge, it's like a little bit. I've gotten that idea a little bit when it comes to Jen's freaking thing, when it comes to her freaking saying, oh, this is gonna be another we need the final act, this is the episode before the final freaking episode, we need to be able to like have something else. That is just what is, that is the understanding in there, right? That she knows that there's gonna be freaking drama that's gonna come around when it comes to it. But that's just me stretching things out and speculating. But that's just an understanding and probably something else, but that's just good to be able to freaking know, right? Yeah, when it comes to freaking shows and things like that, the characters knowing that they are aware, you know, it's kind of freaking weird. But it kind of makes it things more freaking real as to it asks the freaking question as to you as a viewer, your relationship. Like, I guess why I was like frowning upon this is just because the question of me as the relationship between me as a viewer to the characters that I'm freaking watching. Right? Do I want really want them to watch? Do I really want to watch them suffer, or is it just because it is, has been something that has been done for so freaking long before we were met with, before we were faced with characters that are aware that they are characters in a freaking story, like before we are aware, we made aware with characters that are aware with their freaking stories, or what do you call this? Fourth wall breakers, right? The fourth wall breakers. Before they understand to be able to break the fourth wall, are we able to understand that it is just like that? And that would be like a question of like, do this is this really the finale that we wanted, or is it true to the freaking character that we do? Sometimes we do kind of freaking kinds of crazy antics or crazy ass freaking things just for the sake of spectacle, because somehow we want more spectacle rather than the story to be fulfilled, or something story that is true to the freaking character. Maybe a story that is true to the character doesn't need kind of freaking crazy as spectacle, but a much more grounded freaking finale, right? And a grounded freaking finale would be like something, her talking things out when it comes to freaking Kevin and understanding that she is not about that freaking thing. Yeah, and that's a great way to be able to like feels like I'm gonna freaking puke in here. But that is the freaking conversation when it comes to this freaking too, right? Those freaking stuff. Because sometimes I do feel like, you know, yeah, when it comes to those freaking kinds of freaking stuff, because it's in the line of freaking crazy and what perceived as freaking crazy, right? When they break the freaking fourth wall, they seem like a crazy ass freaking character, or they seem out of place now from the freaking story that it's being told. And yeah, it is crazy that it is like that. And so yeah, when it comes to power, it is like that. And fourth wall freaking breaks. I'm just talking about the freaking fourth walls, and my perception and how they see freaking fourth walls in this situation is kind of like that, and probably a criticism as to or an idea that just brought up, or like how probably they could like freaking push it in terms of freaking fourth walls, right? Because probably it gets too fucking real to the freaking audience when they understand that it is like that. Yeah, but we have freaking Toy Story that understands that they are just freaking playthings and understands that their place in the freaking universe is to be a toy to a freaking child, even though they are just freaking playthings and they play freaking things, and that is what they do. Like how they were able to like accept their freaking reality is something of a feat in itself, right? And not completely breaking their freaking mind and going freaking crazy, and knowing this as their freaking purpose, and like driving freaking happiness as to their freaking purpose as being a freaking plaything. Like what if like yeah, but what if your entire freaking purpose before that was something else? The Buzz Lightyear freaking situation before before he was able to turn into a freaking plaything. I guess there is no freaking higher purpose than being chosen as to become a freaking character to someone else's freaking story. You have to be able to like show the freaking say to be able to like being able to be being part of the freaking play, right? To be able to part of the freaking play is just one of the best things that ever happens in freaking life. That it's like their freaking purpose is to chase freaking play with freaking kids, and that the play thing is being part of the freaking story, to be part of the fucking somebody else's story, or to be part of the freaking story that is being written by them, because it they draw freaking fun from it. That would be crazy. But I don't think that would be the purpose of every freaking character, or whoever goes through beyond the freaking fourth wall, right? Who perceives things beyond the freaking fourth wall. I don't know, man. I don't know. I freaking said Toy Story because it's still in the Disney freaking realm, and it's a good freaking reference to what it is. Yeah, Toy Story is nice. Uh, uh, yeah, fourth walls. The references to the real world, that is freaking nice, actually. References to the real world. Influencer freaking things selling, influencers selling junk. Oof. Well, isn't that a thing? Influencers selling shit. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a nice freaking thing to be able to like say. Yeah. Mm, influence. Yeah, that's a reference to the real world. And in the legal freaking stuff, I don't know, man. I never reached that year. It's like in the fourth year when they teach about copyright and like trademarks and all those freaking kinds of laws. And it's not like I only reached the second year when it comes to like studying freaking law, so I don't not freaking understand it that much. Yeah. Soundtrack powers. The soundtrack is nice. How the show is run is nice. The man in the show is nice. Well, the good man in the show is nice. Which is almost nobody. Well, we have Puck. We have Puck and Daredevil. Fuck Hulk and Daredevil. That doesn't mean yeah. Fuck Hulk and Daredevil. Yeah. How the show is run. That's nice. Anything else when it comes to the freaking show that is run? I like the addition of the guy that does the suits, that does the super suits, and how they were able to tie them up with freaking Daredevil. That is, oh, that is really creative. That is something new to be able to see and finally be able to like. Oh, because the suit guy and he's the maker of freaking suits for like superheroes. And we're able to like see one of his freaking clients who's just freaking Daredevil. It's just like nice. Yeah, we'll be able to get to see the suit guy anytime soon. I don't think so. Mm, the men in the show, powers, soundtrack, the leapfrog freaking thing that is freaking crazy, and her as freaking legal counsel working with that entire freaking conflict and that entire freaking line. That freaking episode was nice. You know what? I like She-Hulk a lot now. I kind of like She-Hulk a lot. Yeah. We're able to talk about it for an hour though. I'm running out of things to say. That. Mm, references to the any other references to the references to the real world. No. Anything that breaks my freaking reality when I'm watching freaking She-Hulk. Uh, hmm. Well, power soundtrack. Yeah, the soundtrack is nice. It's kind of nice. I like it. Powers. Anyone else? What else? Power scaling. She's pretty decently power scaled. She's very much like a Hulk. She's hulking out. Anything else? The suits, not much. Once it comes to her freaking having a much more better freaking suit, what did she have when it comes to her getting a better suit? I don't know. It's much the suit is much more fit. It doesn't seem like a loose freaking bunch of loose freaking things. Yeah. But some of those freaking things like expand and like shrink at the same time. That's so that it will fit her even if she turns back to human. Oh, oh, 52 minutes though. Probably around 40 freaking minutes, but that's just like about it when it comes to like talking about it. I thought I could like go for a freaking hour, man. Power freaking. Anything else? Personal freaking experience towards it. Anything else that freaking triggered me? When it comes to the freaking men in the show, what are the things that freaking triggered me or like felt freaking offensive when it comes to it? I don't. Probably the the freaking intrigued me the most is immortal freaking man. That was something. Yeah, I think every freaking aspect of it growing up, I was one of those freaking guys too. I probably was like growing up. I probably was one of those freaking guys. But yeah, I've learned my freaking ways, man. Sometimes I do feel a little bit over my freaking head. You know, like a girl, she could have literal superpowers, and I probably think I can do freaking better. And sometimes those freaking kinds of things. Yeah. Sometimes it does those. Sometimes those things happen, and mind reader. She can probably freaking read your mind. Like, what's a fucking mind reader, anyways? I the man in the show, how the man in the show is nice. Ano pa? Uh, um, yeah, when it comes to those certain things, I probably was watching it too. Yeah. Can we not just like talk? Can we talk about her freaking smile? Like the actress's freaking smile. That is a very bright one. Like, oof. Yeah, it takes you in. Her smile is really good. It's like a very nice freaking smile. Yeah. Uh, what else? I guess watching things like this, yeah, just diversifies a lot of freaking stuff. But sometimes I need to be able to like watch other freaking kinds of things too, right? Like, what would be the equivalent to the other side of like something, a show like this? Would be the equivalent to the other side. They have something. Yeah. I think we're done with that because everything else that is somehow like show like this, there's always a quote that is when I remembered it when this one came out, there is a quote about this the freaking first episode where a woman is always enraged. That she'll always had to be in control of her freaking rage all the freaking time. And their tolerance for freaking being angry is like something else, right? And they're always catcalled and all those freaking shit. And that somehow being able to understand that, understanding their freaking power, their rage as a, their rage as, what do you call this? The rage being experienced by freaking Bruce Banner feels discounted because of this freaking line. Yeah, and that's like one of those freaking problems in this one, and that probably strayed away a lot of freaking viewers as to what this freaking show and what it does. But overall, it's a freaking good show. Like, take away those freaking kinds of freaking things, and everybody else's comments towards it. It's pretty okay. Because God forbid, like, have like some cringes freaking lines for everybody. That's like one of the hardest freaking things for me to be able to like do to like be able to like put words on somebody else's mouth. That's the hardest thing for me to be able to do, to put my words into somebody else's mouth and be able to be okay with it and not cringing. And not cringing yeah, when it comes to writing freaking stuff, being able to like say this is how this is how she needs to be able to like say it, and it's gonna be freaking cool and stuff. I never I don't have that freaking feeling. I don't have that kind of confidence in me to be able to like have that feeling in me to be able to say that this is the coolest thing she's ever gonna be able to say. But sometimes I do feel like a little bit of chills when it comes to like lines that are like brought up in my freaking head. But they're just lines in my freaking head, you know. Yeah, I like freaking things that are like that. I don't know. I never have watched something where a line was freaking said, a catchphrase was freaking said, and I'd be like, yeah, yeah, damn right, tell him. I, I never watched. I don't remember anything that is like that. That is like that. Get these beggars out of here. Somebody get these beggars out of here. Okay, that the beggars from Robert Pattinson, that the way he was able to say it too, and how he looks. Oh my freaking god, he looks so freaking annoyed, and in the freaking moment, and that freaking that. How do you nail that? How do you pretend that? How do you play pretend in that? You know just how that is to be able. Oh, oh. It must have felt good, especially when you're in the world, or when you're in everything else that everybody needs to be nice to everybody, and that's how the freaking world works. That everybody needs to be nice to everybody. Probably saying that might have felt freaking good. Can somebody get these beggars out of? Fuck. Yeah, I'm talking about the Odyssey now. Yeah, that's probably time for me to be able to like shut the fuck up and get this going because it's been an hour. Alright, that is She-Hulk, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming by and listening to the whatever it is. This is probably a podcast freaking thing, but we don't call it a podcast. Call it yapping. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for coming by. Appreciate y'all. If you ever do watch this, to anybody who's gonna watch this in the future, thank you so much. And yeah, bye bye.